He was on. Did he pop up?
I thought so too, but I don't see him now.
He's probably gonna try to get back in here.
Okay, we'll give him a minute, see if he, I see him. Wait, he was there and then he was gone again.
Okay, Greg, it's up to you.
I am back. I'm so sorry.
There you go. I saw your name pop back up. If you are ready to go, we are ready for you.
I am ready. Which one are we on? I'm sorry.
We are on the item 4A, so changes to service fees.
Okay, you got it. Thank you very much. Congratulations, you've made it to that wonderful time of year again where we get to talk about 70 pages worth of service fees, about 1,300 lines of them. As part of the annual budget process, departments review the city service fees, determine which fees may require adjustments or elimination. These are assumed in the annual budget, so they're in the revenues that are built into our 2024 proposed budget. We use the fee indexing that we started way back in 2007 during a revenue review process. The 2024 fees were indexed using a 4.9% inflation factor derived from the employment cost index for state and local compensation. Most were indexed. Several were not. Just putting it in kind of a in order, there were 13 bullets as you see in the memo that were less than indexed, 5 bullets that were greater than indexed, and there were more eliminated than there was added. So I think we're being pretty conservative with our service fees. If you have any questions, there's a bunch of really smart people online who will answer your details.
Any questions from my colleagues to Greg or other members of staff on the proposed changes to the service fees? Okay, it doesn't look like there's any questions. So does this need to be moved forward or is this information only?
It's just information only. There's nothing to move on. If you're okay, we are going forward at the Saturday workshop and do the same song and dance again for the rest of council.
Right.
But it's a city manager discretion.
Okay, great. Then I appreciate the update, and we'll move on to 4B, CABC update.
All righty. Is Danielle on? She was coming from a meeting, a 1 o'clock meeting.
I am here. Yes. Hi.
Excellent. Then I'm going to turn it over to Danielle Lamont, our CBC chair.
Great.
All right. Hello, everyone today. So a little update on CABC. As you all know, we meet every month. We finished our budget workshop in July and have our report prepped and sent over to Greg to include in your budget book for the budget workshop in September. A couple of the things that are on our report this year was a departmental review of the 911 emergency call center again. They did an update from last year because there was such a significant change on the positive side. So they did an updated report on the 911 call center and the great work that Tina Benita has been doing over there. We have a strategic economic development recommendation from a subcommittee, infrastructure subcommittee, and then an arts, entertainment, and venues subcommittee. And so overarching kind of the strategic economic development, infrastructure, and arts, entertainment, and venues kind of all work together so that it can move forward, really bringing revenue generation back to the city with getting a couple of these event centers and spaces, and potentially are having a new department that's split off that also is our recommendation. So any questions? I guess that was kind of quick, but kind of how we process through the year.
Yeah, I will, but I'll turn over my colleagues first. Council members Bergan or Jurinsky, do either of you have questions of Danielle?
I do not. Thank you.
So what did you say? I guess my follow-up is the recommendation for a new department. Maybe I missed something. What was that?
So so looking at the department right now is library social services and cultural affairs. And our recommendation, this was our recommendation last year as well, but we developed it even more this year, is to kind of split that department to create a new department that would be arts, entertainment, and venues. So that the current department chair can oversee all libraries and all the growth that's happening in libraries separately, and then have this new department that can manage the areas of the city that can potentially bring in revenue.
Got it. And then will this, and maybe this is a question for you and Greg, you all will be doing your full report to us here next month?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Other questions for Danielle? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll move on to 4C, Career Service Commission update.
All right. Good afternoon, Ryan Lance, Director of Human Resources. I'm going to pass this on to the Employee Relations Manager, Pat Sylvester, and she'll provide an informational only Career Service Commission update that we do every year. So Pat, I'll send it over to you.
Thanks, Ryan. Good afternoon, everyone. In regards to the Career Service Commission, as just a general overview, the Career Service Commission is comprised of 5 citizens from the city from Aurora that oversee any type of disciplinary hearing that is appealed by city employees. So any advanced discipline that takes place, whether it's a suspension, unpaid suspension, a termination, or demotion, employees have the right to appeal those to the Career Service Commission. Right now, we had our most recent hearing took place in July of this year. Prior to that, we have not had an actual hearing since 2018. So this was a first in a long time with the new commission members. And that hearing was actually upheld. It was a 5-day suspension. And the Career Service Commission upheld that suspension. Prior to that, the last one was in 2018 with Parks, Recreation, Open Space, and that was a termination that was also upheld. So between 2018 and 2023, we have not held any hearings. So this commission is eager to be involved in city community, but unfortunately, I guess it's a good thing that we don't have many of these. Any questions from anybody?
I guess my question is, with how few you have, is there a threshold, or is it just maybe a lack of awareness that discipline and termination can be appealed? I mean, that seems like a very limited number of people are actually appealing any sort of.
Yeah, thank you. Well, when employee is disciplined, they receive a final termination notice, and on that notice, it gives them all the information on their right to appeal and who they have to appeal to. So it's clearly stated on their termination notice, so they are aware that it's there. It's just for whatever reason, a lot of folks don't take advantage of that.
Right. Okay. And I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe they recognize that what they were terminated for was in fact a legit reason to be terminated. So that means the supervisors are doing a good job.
Absolutely.
Any other questions on this topic? And this is information only, correct?
Members of
Yep, go ahead.
I would also assume that just our practices in terms of making sure that we document everything from the human resource perspective, that also probably helps reduce the appeals.
Absolutely. We work closely with the department director, also with Ryan and the city attorney's office when we make that determination to move towards advanced discipline. So we want to make sure everybody's on board, that we have all the correct documentation. So before we make any those hard decisions, we want to make sure that we've done everything right.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions on this one? Okay. Item 4D, amended service plan for Aspen Park.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chesarina Dancy. Yes, so this first item, we have Aspen Business Park, Aurora Crossroads 1 to 2, and Crossroads East Metro districts that currently all exist under separate individual service plans. However, they are under one ownership, and the ownership group has another parcel that they are intending to purchase. The request is to consolidate all of these into one service plan. There is no debt limit increase proposed. It would just be the debt limits that were approved as part of the original plan.
Got it. Any questions from the committee?
I think it's a good idea to consolidate.
Yep, agreed. Okay, any opposition to moving this forward to study session? Okay, saying none, that's the direction. Okay, 4E.
Thank you. So 4E is the Porteos Business Improvement District, and this is just a matter of a request to City Council to fill a vacancy on their board of directors. There was a missed deadline on their end to get that done, and so they are requesting that the city do it.
Okay, any questions? Seeing none, is there any objection to moving this one forward? Okay. 4F, City Investment Policy Review.
Hi, good afternoon. I have two items, the investment policy and the debt policy. I think I can probably summarize them both right now. I just want to let you know that the investment policy says that it's supposed to be reviewed every other year. In practice, I look at it every year. So we just did that review. I looked at it, the investment advisor looked at it, no changes are being recommended to that. So I did include the investment policy so that you have it. It has not changed from last year. Also, the debt policy calls for a review at least every 3 years. We took a look at that as well and made a couple typographical corrections to it. But other than that, no changes at all. So again, I have included that policy in your packets for your information. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have on either policy at this time.
Questions on items 4? This is F and G combined under one topic. Any questions on either of those?
Have none.
Okay, this is information only, correct?
Information only, that is correct. Thank you.
Yeah, so with that, that's the end of the agenda. Are there any miscellaneous matters for consideration? And then I'd say the last thing will be just to confirm that the next meeting is, I believe, the 26th, same time. Does that work for both committee members? It's September 26th.
Works for me.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
See you all.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Hey, Tammy.
Hey.
Okay, so you're the only one that can stop the recording, I guess, because you started it?